Hi and good evening, everyone. My name is Albert, and this is VlogsBoutNothin. Thank you very much for taking the time out of your night to join me. I really appreciate that. Um, you know, as we go and approach ourselves on into the fall season, I feel like a few things are missing. You feel me? One of them, obviously, and these are things that concern the sports world. One of them is like a feeling of any kind of real, like pride as it concerns sports. Something interesting that's happened, I think, and I'm going to elaborate on in that there's not the same kind of vibe. Like looking forward to the football season was something I think for Americans different for obvious reasons, even just like 5 years ago, as it is compared to today. And I find that like for us, like for one big reason, obviously, and that's because sports in the last decade have transformed into something that is a you can bet on sports now, and it's completely changed the makeup of how people watch, participate, and hear about sports now. I mean, it's completely changed how sports are consumed. um Before it was different. There was no very like um overlaying kind of umbrella to incentivize bad behavior, meaning gambling wasn't allowed in sports because it often encouraged more bad behavior than it did promote good and quality well stuff within that particular game. And then now, so as an American person, every year obviously you're influenced by American football, and if you play sports, and if you just like even celebrating and going over to friends' house and eating food and just chilling around people. I mean, a very sociable part of being an American adult is going over to a person's house and being with other people in the comfort and company of there being a game in the background. I know that, for example, my roommate and I have plans this weekend to go watch the Packers game, and like that's at a local little restaurant. You feel me? And that, like, again, it brings people together without a doubt. Sports brings people together. It always has. But now, to the average person, sports, I feel like approaching is more of a risk than ever before, especially for those of us who have little to lose to begin with, in that the common working guy who, would typically only have an outlet like from his social circle of friends, meaning like, $20 here, $50 there, but definitely something that you can still afford. And trust me, I know this because, yeah, I've gambled with coworkers before. You feel me? I mean, sorry, Uncle Sam. I'm just doing my duty as an American, as in like being American. But like that happens all the time. That happened before gambling was made legal. Like that was a thing, and it will always still be a thing. It still happens now, even with gambling being legal. But the problem with legalized gambling in the sports world is that a lot of working guys are gonna now, spend a large part of their checks on feeding that gambling addiction, which again, as we now know, Americans, especially privileged Americans, and even I say privileged in that oftentimes these men, yeah, specifically men, although this industry does affect women as well, but more in particular, there's entire countries who are going through epidemics with their youth and its connection to legal gambling, and online gambling, whether it's through sports or online casinos. Namely, I encourage you all to look up Australia and the youth's problem with addiction as it concerns gambling over sports and how it directly impacts their lives. Like, I can imagine, when I was 18, me and my friends were worried about getting money to buy like a six pack. I meant 21. I meant 21. Although I was in college, it's important to note, like, when I was, you know, um, in the underground scene, as it is with every American that's ever attended college under the age of 21. As I do not condone it, and nor ever any university will. It's just something that happens with young people. And all I'm saying is that I can remember being that age and my friends and I just concerned about having a safe and fun night with whatever funds we had. And now, that continues to happen. But on top of that, you have people who are gambling what little money they do have and they could have spent to go out and oftentimes lose, and I guess every once in a while, sure, a little victory, but more often than not, just like straight up lose more money with not any extra money to have lost to offset that. So it's just a bigger problem. And going back to that, I can't imagine being that young and a stupid man and like making stupid decisions financially, like especially because you're younger and you have a job. You might be working like through your school or something, but nonetheless, I feel like when you're young and you're a young stupid American man, that often, if gambling is legal for sports teams, you're gonna do that. Like you may make $400 a week and you may spend 150 on gambling and you may lose. Like it's just, if you don't win, that's a big part of your income. Like that's a huge part of your income actually, and just a few losses will like affect what you bring in on a month, and how that impacts like your living situation, you feel me? So like sports hit different now. It's so weird. This vlog is about that. It's about how I see commercials about not football happening, but like betting starting. And again, that's a fundamental shift in how sports are being sold. It's no longer even about the game, like legit. It's about the betting on the game. And I don't think sports, either amateur or professional, should have ever evolved into a byproduct of something that it in itself elicits for other byproducts. Meaning, there's nothing wrong with putting a 5 spot on your favorite team with your bestie before the game starts. There's little to no chance that you're going to affect the impact of that game. But when you only start selling the game as a byproduct of the betting, then everything becomes only about the bets. And nothing matters anymore. Not the quality of the teams, not the quality of the players, nothing. It's all about stats and the house bringing in what the house needs to bring in, which apparently is everything. These guys don't share. And it's again, so I just think that it's weird. I think that it's really weird to see commercials selling American football as the byproduct of a gambling product. Again, like, how far have we come where like we don't even have teams anymore. It's like whoever's playing, let's put some money down on the outcome and that's my team for that play. That's a shift in spectator consumption as it concerns fan loyalty and branding and just sportsmanship. Um, Again, it makes it more like an unneeded drunk uncle at a party than the person bringing over another 6 pack to the people who can handle one or more extra. There's a big difference, and like I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like how D1 college athletes, are going into college and are more concerned with getting sponsorship deals and more concerned with being on, the local mechanics calendar for $1,000 a semester than they are performing on the field, or like performing, in the ring, or on the diamond ring, like wherever it is, wherever. It's just, am I a fan of D1 athletes getting paid for their services? Absolutely, but that should be taken care of in-house through the universities. They raise a lot of money through the sporting programs, FYI. Ton of money. They can afford it, They can afford to incentivize student athletics through their own methods of funding, but they choose not to. Instead, they choose to, give athletic directors at shady universities $1 million bonuses, and members of boards that for the athletic board and the commissioners and all these places. Like, it's really kind of, and then endowments. It's sort of like, who wants to put money into an account that will forever gain interest and you can't touch? I mean, the point of endowments is so counterintuitive to like capitalism that as universities shake you down for your money, kindly remind yourself that they have billions in the bank, and it's not available to you. It's not even available to them. It's a really weird thing what rich people do in this country. It's really, really weird. They're about getting that money, but they're not about spending it. And then they're about complaining, when they don't. It's like, are you going to spend this money or not? Because, I know of like millions of other people who will happily spend this money, and that's the whole point of it, right? Is to spend it. So, yeah, sometimes irony plays like its own very weird role in the modern world. So I hope that you guys have a really good night. I really appreciate you joining me here on Vlogs About Nothing. Each and every single day, it's sort of a new experience. And I guess, that's what every new day is. There's nothing special about that, is what I'm saying. The only thing special about this is continuing to join me here on my journey through life. And I really appreciate it. Tonight, the first video of the 4 that I did, I'm trying to do a little giveaway. So, again, no one's reached out yet, but I'll acknowledge publicly when somebody does. Obviously, so that will be over, but I have like 10 trays, dude. So like, I don't know. I'm just saying, like, maybe watch the video. Maybe hit me up so you can be the first person I give something away to online. I've given away a lot of things, and this is a new thing for me. Seriously, like, since I was a little boy, I love giving stuff away. I love it. Like, since I was a little kid, my parents quickly found out that I wasn't the kid to give something expensive to, because quickly realized that it made other people way happier than it did me. I mean, seriously, like, it was whatever. I mean, you want this, you can have it. Like, it makes you happy, that's great. That makes me happy. I've always been like that, like, legit. It's something that makes me happy. It really does. I enjoy doing that. I always have. I get that, I think, from my grandma. Like, honestly, just the way that I was brought up. I care about things that don't involve stuff, and for a long time now, I felt like that. So it's not anything new. This isn't an epiphany for me. I just am behaving in a way that I always have, and that, like, this is a new way for me to give stuff away. And that, I think, is like more exciting sometimes than making even the videos, is knowing that I have a channel to give stuff away. I think that's kind of weird too. Like, I don't know if a lot of people, value that, like, in that way, but, I mean, again, anytime I have the opportunity to give stuff away, again, like, because I know that somebody else will enjoy it, like, it's beyond knocking my socks off. I'm just like, that's cool, because I find value, in like, if people give me stuff, and I can find a way to use it. Like, I'm like, wow, like, okay, that's the whole point of stuff, is using it. Again, I'm not the guy. Don't send me any very expensive, plates, because I'll use them. Why wouldn't I use them? Again, it's just a silly thing to have a china cabinet full of dishes that you use once a year. I'm using them every day. You feel me? I'm putting pizza rolls on $100 plates. I don't care. What else would you do with it? Seriously. I don't know. But regardless, I hope that you guys have a really good night. And thanks again for being here along through my life. I'll try to make it more exciting for everyone. But it has been what it has been the last few months. So thanks for sticking around, okay? I can assure all of you that our adventures will only get better, more exciting, more entertaining for y'all, and just, overall better. I'm just trying to be a better person. So I hope that you guys have a really good night, okay? Bye.